So let's go over the show. So they open up with Moxley versus Roosh.
It's nothing yet.
Yeah, Moxley's matches are identical. They're literally just like every match is like exactly the same as the one before. He does they exchange strikes. They let each other hit each other late in the match and stuff and thing. But he ends up beating him. And that's the one thing about this tournament. There hasn't been one single match you didn't know what the outcome was going to be.
There hasn't been one upset, right?
Right. So Moxley beats Roosh. Yeah.
Roosh always brings a good physical 50-50 match.
Right.
I don't care about the tournament or the standings. There was one where Roosh delivered like this throw over his head, kind of like a suplex, where Moxley's arm was trapped under both of them. I'm surprised he didn't worse, but he was selling it. I don't know. And I like how the announcers kept going, whoa, it's must win for Lethal or Briscoe. Okay, I don't think most people care about that.
No, they're trying to sell it, but you still know what's going to happen.
Right.
You're selling the story that we know what the right. Yeah. So,
and then twice these guys went outside for over 20 seconds. I mean, the referee just always gets buried.
Right. Horrible. Speaking of burying refs, there's a lot of referee burials on the show. That was one of them. This was a funny segment. Renee Paquette's on stage with Roderick Strong, Taven, and Mike Bennett.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious every time he says somebody's name and he yells
her name. Renee! Yeah, right. Yes. Right. I mean, it's good comedy. It's entertaining, but it's like they need to progress somewhere because it's like the same shtick over and over every week, So this week he's just cutting a promo on MGF and stuff and thing, and he comes up out of his he comes up and he rises up out of the wheelchair, and then they make it like it's just good old school comedic heel work is what these guys are doing right now, and so and it's entertaining. They're doing it for what they want this to be. They're doing it fine, and I'm entertained by it. But this is it's enough already. We need to what's the storyline here, right? So MJF, so Hangman Page is interviewed by MJF's locker room, and Page said he could concede that Swerve Strickland beat him in the Texas test match, but he took something from Swerve. It's not over. Then MJF comes out. His locker room is right there, and that's how compelling it was to watch Paige and Swerve battle it out to see who could get more. He's talking about them bleeding all over each other. MJF recalled beating Paige, who called a white trash hick to keep his Dynamite Diamond ring, and MJF said he thinks Paige is a masked devil. Paige said MJF has been a manipulator as long as he's known him and assumed that MJF was actually the devil. Then Samoa Joe stepped between MJF and Paige when it looked like things were about to get physical, and Joe told Paige that MJF is his responsibility now. What's wrong with you, Joe asked MJF, and Joe told MJF they had other business tonight that didn't involve Paige. What'd you think about this?
I liked it. It sounded very, very, sounded like they were shooting on each other. Yeah.
Right. Well, what's his name does that? Because MJF does kind of shoot on you, and he forces you to shoot back at him, which makes it, right? So,
more believable.
He does, right? Yeah.
It is an wrestling promo, right?
Yeah, he torches you right to your face on the mic, and it's like
he even said there was even one part. There was even one part where he said, "The last time I saw you, we were with Bret Hart, and I verbally."
Yeah, like what's he gonna say, right?
Yeah, you better come back with something because he just destroyed you on live, TV. So I don't know if they go over it or they're just shooting on each other. I don't know. I'll say this and you say this. I don't know how they go over it, but he makes you up your game. That's for sure.
Right. So Swerve against Mark Briscoe in a match. They took 15 minutes for this. They should have done like 7. Nobody thought that he was going to beat him. But Swerve, and I think this is so corny. They're like, by having all these guys kick out of a bunch of things, they think they're protecting them. It's like, but bro, nobody knew. Come on, that's like every match is kicking out of a bunch of stuff. So, but
they did that the whole show,
right? So this girl Mariah May was interviewed by Renee Paquette, who asked her how a meeting with Tony Khan went. She said it went well, and she signed with AEW. May said they planned her debut match and she asked for details, said it was none of her business. Then gushed over Tony Storm. I'd like to get your thoughts about how this next segment is, how it made you feel. So Samoa Joe comes down, and once he was in the ring, the lights flickered and eventually turned off. It's supposed to be a tag match coming up against him and the Devil's minions, I guess. Then the Devil's masked men surrounded the ring, and the lights turned out, and then the masked men were gone once the lights were turned on. Then a shot in on the big screen of the masked devil, and then they go to the back, and MJF was laid out with a broken bottle next to him. Then Joe ran backstage to attend him. So we didn't see the match, but we saw the devil. It's just funny that they talk about the devil, and all they do is they should just have shot at the guy wearing the mask. That's it. Like
well, that's the tease. That's a tease. You don't know who's behind the mask.
But what is he doing though?
Well, he's the guy that hit him with the bottle, obviously, or sent somebody to hit him with the bottle. But what I found very interesting was, did you notice they hit him with a bottle? Who usually drinks beer?
Oh, Adam Page.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
To me, it wasn't, to tell you the truth, it wasn't like they hit him with a bottle, who it is. I'm more like, bro, just let's find out who it is and continue this. Like, that's where I'm at.
All right.
You know?
It's like enough. It's like the longer you go, the less interesting it gets, you know?
Right. And this is what I'm thinking. You're dragging this out. It better be good.
All right.
Because if not, this is really going to blow up in your face.
All right. Next is
you know
Moxley.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I echo the exact same thing. Moxley delivered a backstage promo, said he's humble before God and his mother. Said he expected to be unbeaten and win the tournament. Then Swerve and Nana show up. And Swerve pointed out they have the same record. He said he would do whatever it takes to win when they meet. Moxley said good. Added that he would do the same. And Swerve blew Moxley a kiss before walking away. Decent bet. Yeah, Swerve's good. So
Swerve's going to be a big baby face one day.
So you watched Turner Classic Movies and you knew who this guy was. I didn't.
Right.
Ben Mankiewicz spoke from a set, and he mentioned some legendary action figures and put over Tony Storm. He included the lines "chin up" and "watch for the shoe" before introducing Storm. Is that part of his shtick, Konnan? Do you watch this?
No. That's part of her shtick. She says that all the time. She says "chin up, watch for the shoe." He obviously didn't say that. Or he can't say that. Well, she said it, so maybe he can, but he probably says, "Hey, I'm not going to say that." But let me just tell you what this guy does. So I watch that channel, right? Because I like old movies. And what he does is he'll come on before a movie and he'll give you factoids for like about 10 minutes. You know, it was here, this happened, you know, he gives you really good information on the movie before you watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So next, Tony Storm against Sky Blue. Tony Storm against Sky Blue. And Tony Storm beats Sky Blue. Oh, by the way, let me see. Was it this match or the match afterwards? Okay, so this match they did a finish where Blue sets up for the Storm Zero, but Blue counters into a pin, but Storm reverses it and then pins her. Okay, so she wins 1, 2, 3. The Mariah May was nowhere to be found. Even though she came out with it. So then Riho makes her entrance. Like very happy, and she waved a Storm, tried to clothesline her, and the Riho ducked and drop kicked her. And then she set up for a move, but Luther pulled Storm off the apron and carried her up the ramp, and Riho was acting like very happy and everything. Are you glad to see Riho back? Listen to Powell's POV. I gotta call him out on this. It's nice to see Riho again. Her last Dynamite appearance was back in April, and there were some vocal Storm fans, not much support for Blue, and then cheers for Riho's return.
Well, let me just say this. For whatever reason, people like Riho, but when I look at her, all 4'7" or whatever, however, I saw her once backstage. She's incredibly small. She looks like a little, and all 90 pounds of her, it's very hard to take her seriously.
Let me ask you a question. Like, say you didn't see her from the front. If you were standing behind her from behind, how old would you think she is? Like, after seeing her in person? Like, what age size is she?
14 years old, something like that. Yeah, she looks really young. She's very small, bro.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
So,
she looks like that would be like in junior high or high school. That's what she looks like. Yeah.
So Jay White wrestles Jay Lethal.
And let me just say one last thing. For as much time as they give Blue, she's not that over, bro. She didn't get that much of a reaction coming out. She didn't get that much of a reaction. Riho got more of a reaction than she did.
Right.
I actually think the girl they should be pushing in that division, who's just as green as Blue, is Anna Jay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jay White defeats Jay Lethal. There was no doubt who's going to win this. But they did this exact same finish as a match before, where they rolled in for a pin, and the other guy rolled through and got the 3 count. So that's
and the problem with this is all these Continental matches are good if you're like a hardcore fan. The matches are good, but no storyline. The tournament seems to be thrown together, and you know who's going to win. There's no upsets.
Right. So this is the Excaliber, whatever the matches for Rampage. Hobbs and Takeshi against Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal. Abaddon
I wonder who's going to win that one.
Abaddon versus Trish Adora.
Right. Wonder who's going to win that one.
Well, who is Trish Adora?
Some black girl, but they don't really show her on TV, do they?
I've never seen it before or even heard that name. Then
Right.
Bryan Danielson against Daniel Garcia in a Continental Classic match, Red Division, or Red League, or whatever, the Blue League. What okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't even know they had different leagues.
Yeah. So now we go to Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland. You know, these guys have wrestled each other a million times. Very logical at the end, until the end. Okay.
That's all that really mattered, the end. And I want to know what you thought of the ending.
All right. Bro, like you said, I guess it's like they don't, like you said, the referee gets buried all the time,
Right.
and they just never really, like, nobody, like they do a spot where I guess if there's going to be a ref bump or something, that nobody ever says, like, you know, hey, the referees have been buried a lot. Like, let's try to put more detail in this. But like they did a spot where Copeland been hurting Cage's right hand, and then Copeland went to Cage waited for Copeland to get up and tried to spear him, but Copeland fell to the mat. The referee checked on Copeland, and Cage kicked the referee from behind. Okay? Now, so I guess the referee didn't see that he got kicked from behind, all right, while he was checking on Copeland. But you would have to assume that the referee knows that Cage is the one that kicked, all right? Because the referee just lied down, like, instead of selling it like he sold it like he was knocked out. Okay,
Right.
Which is very difficult. I've never seen anybody get kicked, knocked out. So he's down forever, so they can do this finishing sequence. Okay, Cage goes to ringside, grabbed his TNT title belt, and tried to hit Copeland with it, but Copeland ducked. And they both ran the ropes. This was a really good spot, very creative. I've never seen it done before. They both went for spears, and they both hit each other like missiles, and then took a double down. Okay, very good spot, right? So Shayna Wayne comes out. The kid's mom, and she picked up the TNT title belt, and like they go, what is she going to do today? And she hits Copeland with it. Okay, and then she leaves the ring. Then Cage hits the kill switch, and then puts the belt under Copeland's head, and then stomps his head on the belt, throws the belt out of the ring, and covers him. Now the referee recovered and counted the pin. Okay, after he got that counted, he covered the guy that kicked. He gave him the win. You know, I understand, you know, the storyline here in the end, but like the execution of this was like had holes in it. It's fine. You're forwarding the story, so Shayna, and it makes sense because, you know, she nailed Copeland because Copeland gave the concerto to her kid right in front of her last week, so that made sense, right? But, you know, if she ends up with Cage, it's ridiculous. Like, she should just, like, have been mad at Copeland for doing that. But if she ends up with Cage here, it's absurd. Because he's just buried her, insulted her, and stuff. You know, and the kid is insulted her. I don't know. What did you think of this? I'd like to see where they go.
When she came out, I was like, oh.
But she's not a good actor at all.
No, at all. She's not a good talker. And I was thinking, why does she need to be involved here? Yeah, I wasn't sure why she would do that, because first she was trying to decide which one she was going to hit, and when I saw that, I knew she was going to hit Edge.
Right.
I did not like this, to tell you the truth. I thought the match was very good as it was. They didn't need her involvement.
All right.
I think the problem with the whole show is, like, I had none of the results were in doubt ever. Yeah, every match, I kind of, you know what I mean? There was no surprises. It was like, oh, of course that guy's going to win. Of course that girl's going to win.
Did you get the number yet?
No, it's not anywhere.
It's got to be up here.
And remember, I got the dude's Patreon too, but it ain't up.
Hang on. It's got to be up. Let me look here. Oops. Where's it? Here we go. Brandon Thurston.
His last Patreon thing's 20 hours ago.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know. It's not a holiday week, is it? Is there a holiday this week?
No,
I don't think so. No.
Maybe it's the NBA in-season tournament semifinals. So it's just such a big deal, right? Yeah. All right. So that's been our. So I like. What did I like on this show? I like the MJF interaction. I like the MJF interaction with Paige. I like that.
That's probably the only thing I liked.
Yeah, it's because all these Continental Classic matches, I'm completely I just fast forward through this. You could
Fast
forward the whole segment because you know who's going to win, right?
It just feels like the tournament.
You're too far away. You're too far away.
It just feels like this tournament was thrown together. There's no video packages. There's no guys cutting promos on each other, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So that's been our AEW review.
Boom.